so much, everyone, for staying with us. Call it a confidence-building program tonight. That is what we hope to achieve, to give every voter out there the confidence to go out on the election day. And we're talking about the issues of security. There have been concerns raised. The situation in Kwara, Cross River State, where people have been injured. They are lying critically ill in the hospital. Let me show you the past incidents in our elections. For example, in 2007, they're mostly inter- and intra-party violence that we saw. In 2011, 140 people killed in pre-election violence. In 2011 also, 21,000 people said to have been killed in post-election violence. Boko Haram also said have killed 41 on 2015 election day. How do we ensure that this does not repeat itself? And so my panel tonight, a politician and a security expert, the national chairman of ANRP and the presidential candidate, Dr. Fasua. And beside him is a former British police officer and a security consultant, Mr. Vince Onyekwelu. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program today. Let me quickly come to you, Mr. Onyekwelu. When a retired military officer comes out to say that the security agents their plans to be used to rig election, and they report on the ground that there are early warning signs of violence, advise us, where do we go from here, Mr. Onyekwelu?
Thank you so much. I must congratulate Channels TV for doing this kind of program that actually helps to educate the masses about the importance of staying safe and being secure during these upcoming general elections in Nigeria. Let's say this, that for the retired general, obviously, with all due respect to him, such people, we are one of the architects of what we've gone through in this country. It doesn't mean that we're not going to listen to what he's saying. We have to listen to him, but obviously he has to know that he's one of the architects of what we are going through in this country. Going forward, obviously, for my concern is here, INEC has a big role to play in all this. If INEC gets their act right, we're going to have a reduced electoral violence in 2019. However, if INEC doesn't get their act together, we're going to have serious problem. Why am I saying this? The tension is on. I'm not trying to scare anybody. The tension, the heat is on. Desperation by the political actors, by the political parties, serious desperation, serious poverty in the land. People believe that this is the time for them to make some money out of politicians. So they want to be part of the money making. They don't believe that the politicians have to take the whole money this time around. So serious poverty, people are impoverished, and they want to participate and make money. The good news we have, honestly, is the ASU strike. From the hindsight, if the ASU strike is not on, we're going to have raw material of willing young people at universities away from their parents, where politicians can just go there with 5,000 naira, 3,000 naira, 10,000. They can just take them from one state to other state to go and be thugs for them. But with the ASU strike, from a professional point of view, we must count our locks, because most youth are right now in their parents' homes. They can just disappear and move from one state to go and participate in electoral violence. So that's one of our biggest opportunities to come to reduce the violence of the election in 2019. However, what can INEC do better? Number one, INEC should do better communication. What they are saying right now is basic communication about electoral processes and saying do not sell or do not buy votes. Honestly, that is absolutely not enough at all. For the kind of monies they have to make this a better election, they should do better with their communication, education, mass information. They are not doing enough. The European Union is doing fantastic work to come into Nigeria to start doing what INEC is supposed to be doing for Nigerians. INEC has to take responsibility.
Vince, if I may quickly come in. Sorry, if I may brought in, Vince, quickly. And I'd like to take you up on this. INEC did come out to say, look, we have uncovered plots by politicians to sell or buy votes using food vendors. That's some kind of intelligence, isn't it? And if you look again at the kind of structure that we have in our police system, are you confident about the capacity to handle this election security?
Let me start with the policing system, number one. Let me tell you this. I was listening to the fantastic spokesman, the new spokesman of the Nigerian Police Force, Mr. Mba, very articulate. Obviously, if you understand verbal language and non-verbal language, he was sounding very reassuring yesterday. I can tell you, based on non-verbal language communication, the gentleman knew that they are not up to this task of this year election. They are not ready. What they're going to do for us, they're going to tell us, you know what, we are ready, but they are not ready. One policeman to about 400 Nigerians, they cannot handle it. What they're going to do there, let's try our best. Do what we can do. Hopefully by 6 p.m. at the end of the day, we can manage. They are not ready. Forget about what they're saying to you. INEC is not ready. The Nigerian police force are not ready. What they're going to do, manage the emergency as it comes that day. For INEC telling us that they're talking about food vendors, you know what? That's very childish. Trust me, these people are not ready. We just have to pray to God to help us.
Vince, you are an expert here.
The situation is very
scary
high.
Things you're saying here. Vince, very scary. Vince, tell us, what can we do? How? We still have about 3 weeks to the election. What can we do to make sure that we do not see violence? I've just shown you the statistics. They're not funny at all.
Communication, training, education. We have to start it. INEC has to drive a deeper education of the masses. Do more inclusive electoral practices. Make sure on the electoral election day that they are very transparent, straightforward from start to finish. No games, no mimics. If they get their act right on the process of the electoral election day, people will feel inclusive. People will feel like INEC is being honest. So the ball stops on the table of INEC. Be credible, be transparent, be honest from start to finish.
All right.
People will see you believable and they will calm down.
Vince, you have a politician beside you, and as you're talking, I'm guessing, is reading your lips and is perhaps learning some lessons. Mr. Fasua, from what you're hearing Vince say, your final words on the program tonight, where do you think we're going from this point?
Look, I think what we should be thinking about now is how to save this country from self-destruction itself, because we can't wait for every electoral season to try and patch things up, and then we go back to our ways. I mean, Nigeria is actually now the inequality capital of the world, apart from being the poverty capital of the world. What it means is that we've got a few people up there, making so much money, and even illegitimately, squandering the resource of the country. And then we've got those majority down there because they want to keep them like that so that they can tap into that for violence in order to continue to maintain themselves. And it's such a very myopic and dark view of life, because you can't just be a few people that are thriving in a country when you should actually spread the wealth. If you spread the wealth, you would even make a lot more money. Nigeria would be livable. I told you, I've been in the last 5 days, I've been in Bauchi State, Plateau State, Sokoto State, Kebbi State, and Zamfara State. I passed through some of these areas that we're talking about. And Nigeria is beautiful. That's why you find out that Nigeria is absolutely beautiful.
We need to go, Mr. Fasua. We're out of time. Sorry, we're out of time. Mr. Onyekwelu, help me here, because I have 20 seconds to go to the end of this program. If you are telling the president, for example, and the IG of police what to do, what would that be? Quickly.
Number one, make sure that your men are seen to be honest, transparent, and de-escalate any issue that can create violence. Number two, INEC, do your job right from beginning to the end, and trust me, we can save this nation. But as it is going now, we are under tension. Don't let them deceive you. It's tense because they failed to do lots of things they're supposed to have done by now.
Okay, thank you so much. Vince Onyekwelu, a former British police officer and a security consultant. Mr. Tokwe Fasua, the national chairman of the ANRP and the presidential candidate of the party too. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Well, from me to you, this is free. You don't have to pay for this. What you need to do on that day, get your PVC, eyes open, and ensure that you stay out of trouble. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.